Okay, good afternoon, guys. So we arrived at the last meeting of our class research seminar, whose theme for this year is a human versus machine. Are we there yet? Yeah, and to close our semester's meeting, we have speaker, one and only Vanessa Sura, who will present her paper and also will be judged by Marceline Berliandika and also Marcelina Lika. Okay, without further ado, I would like to invite the last speaker in this seminar class, Vanessa Julia Sura. Vanessa, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, good evening, everybody. So today I will deliver my research, and the title is The Indonesian Translation of Beauty and the Beast, a study of musical devices. Okay, the first one, I will explain the introduction. Humans need other humans, of course, a way to communicate. Without communications, humans will not help each other talk, discuss, convey their thoughts properly. Humans are created diverse and have their characteristics, even with the various languages that exist in the world. Thus, to support universal communications, humans are also required to understand each other's language. However, there is one way to make communication more accessible and avoid miscommunication between people. Translating between language is required. The translation is not restricted to speaking and through books, songs, films, and so on. It can even translate a speech, a conversation at work, or wherever we are when we met people who have different languages than us. Translating means changing the original language, or we can say short text, into the destination language, or we can say target text, without subtracting or adding text. The translation is helpful for everyone so that they can interact well and add knowledge or insight. According to Newmark, 1981, transmitting a written message from one language to another without increasing or decreasing transmission is called translation. Translation is a skill that consists trying to replace a message in one language with the same statement in other language. Translating must follow the rule that this is not permissible to change by adding or subtracting message conveyed by the one language to another. Translation has difficulty because it looks for equivalent words that translate the source language into the target language. It is appropriate and doesn't cause ambiguity for listeners and readers. Walt Disney was previously famous for various big projects, one of which is by expanding its business to that Disney is known as various countries. One of the strategies used to make Disney in various countries, it is called Disney Indonesia in Indonesia. Disney Indonesia will translate Disney songs sung in English into Indonesian by singers from Indonesia. This allows listeners throughout Indonesia to know that and be more familiar with a song which is about if sung by in the mother tongue. The research analyzed the musical devices in the song Beauty and the Beast, sung by Celine Dion and Phoebe Bryson in 1991. Then sung again by Ariana Grande and John Legend in 2017. The translated song Si Cantik dan Buruk Rupa was sung by Sheila Kiana in 2018. Translating songs has its challenge because music is almost the same as poetry, which has several lines and that rhyme and can be called musical devices. Translating song relates to understand the meaning is not that complicated. It is just a challenge when translating the song to singing it. If the translation doesn't match the original lyrics, it will have a different meaning. Just as a translation doesn't match the rhythm or tone of the original song will ruin the beauty of the song. In addition to understanding the song's meanings, translators are also required to translate rhymes that are comfortable for listeners to listen to because music is a beautiful work of art. This happens with musical devices in songs. And then, okay, my object. This study discuss a song from one of the famous Disney fairy tales entitled Beauty and the Beast, which has been translated into Si Cantik dan Buruk Rupa. Okay, so let's move on to, I will explain the musical devices. The musical devices is a technique to make words more artistic for art lovers to read or listen to. Musical devices can help a poet or songwriter come up with a lot of ideas. Every line and every stanza, there will be something that can include the meaning of the song. Music and poetry have a lot in common because their meanings express the author's feelings or ideas. Both play with words and both have the same goal, which is to express the expression of the heart through words. In addition, songwriters and translators usually already determine that rhymes will be used along with the ideas issued. The language of musical instruments or musical devices in poetry is not only used to convey information, but also for sound and meaning so that sound can be straightened meaning and essence. Art and Johnson from Art and Johnson 2008. Usually, songwriters use musical devices to convey the meaning of the song in their compositions. Based on Arp and Johnson, there are several aspects of musical devices that can be used. So we can see in the screen. So there is a table, the table 1, about the musical devices. So there is the first one is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the initial consonant sound. So the example, you can see that there is a P for Peter and P for Piper, P pig, and I will say that Peter Piper picked a pack of the pickled peppers. Okay, so we can see the repetition, the initial consonant sound, right? P for the repetition. Okay, the second one, assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds, like for example, back in black. Back in black. We can hear that back in black. There is a familiar repetition of vowel sounds. The third one is consonants. Consonants is the repetition of the final consonant, like all is well that ends well. All, well, well. We can listen to the repetition of the final consonants, right? And the next one, there is a refrain. Refrain is a rhyme that consists of all phrases, lines, and words repeated using the same pattern. We can find it in the end of the stanza, but it can also be at the beginning or the middle. Okay. For the example, this is the refrain for the poetry. The nightly sings the starring oath, to who, to tweet, to who, a merry note, while greasy lone dog kill the plot. Okay. So I will explain the next. Okay, rhyme. Rhyme is a very special because rhyme has many types. So I will explain the rhyme itself. Rhyme is the next consonant sound and has the repetition of an accented vowel sound. Rhyme is divided into 5 types. The first one is masculine rhyme. Masculine rhyme is a rhyme which involves one syllable. For example, look, it's a mouse inside the house. It is so because of that, masculine rhyme only for involve one syllable. Mouse, house, something like that. And after that, we can see feminine rhyme. Feminine rhyme is a rhyme which involves two or more syllables. For example, I kidnapped some weasels and now I have measles. Weasels and measles. Okay, involves two or more syllables. And after that, we can see, okay, internal rhyme. Internal rhyme is a rhyme when one or more rhyming words are within the rhyme. For example, double, double toil, and trouble, fire burn, and cauldron bubble. Double, double, trouble, bubble. We can see there is a similarities in this example, double, 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 trouble, bubble. Bull, for the example. Okay. And after that, the end rhyme. End rhyme is a rhyme when the rhyming words are at the end of the lines. In Flanders fields, the poppies blow between the crosses row on row that mark our place, and in the sky the lark still bravely singing, fly, starts heard, I meet the guns below. Okay, we can see a blow, crow, below at the end of the lines. And the last one is approximate rhyme, or we can say it as the slant rhyme. Approximate rhyme or slant rhyme is a rhyme which includes words with any kind of sound similarity from close to fairly remote. Let the boy try along this bayonet blade, how cold steel is, and keen with hunger of blood. We can see and we can hear about the blood and blood. It is a similarity from the close of fairly remote. There are 5 aspects of musical devices that have been made by Art and Johnson, especially for rhyme. There are 5 types of rhyme, and as described above. This theory has the advantage of the brief and detailed explanation. So because of that, I choose Art and Johnson. That makes it easier for translator to understand it to imply in translation related to song lyrics. The examples above are taken from several songs and poems that have been created. The researcher has used several examples based on references to several undergraduate theses from other researchers. And after that, we will move to translating song as poem. Consciously or not, the fact is that when we are asked to write a poem, we usually find it difficult, right? However, if we ask to make song lyrics, then we will make it easy. Songs are almost the same as poetry, except that songs are, of course, like a song poetry. The similarity between poetry and song is that they are both written into lines and stanza. In addition, of course, both of use musical devices such as rhyme or repetition. It is used to add artistic value to the work. However, of course, even though they have similarities, there will be differences. According to Jan van Zenberg, the definition of the text of poetry does include not only the types of literature, but also an expressions of the maxim character, the message of an advertisement, slogans of politics, poetry, pop songs, and prayers. Opinions expressed by experts can strengthen that song lyrics are a medium of communication between poets and art lovers. Song lyrics are also personal expressions from his heart about something he has experienced or his imagination with his word through reading and then sung. This is similar to a poet who writes poetry to be read to the convey to listeners. And now, I will explain the methodology. This study has used qualitative research methods because the results are in the form of several words that have been nothing to do with the numbers. Furthermore, the researcher used the methods of explanation and literature study of musical devices. The explanation method requires careful research and examination to obtain results that support the primary data. At the same time, the library method is obtained by citing the theories of experts through books, articles, journals, and other sources. This is research data is data collected directly by researcher to serve a primary data. And this is the lyrics of the Beauty and the Beast. And after that, you can see the differences about the lyrics about Beauty and the Beast and si cantik dan si buruk rupa. Now, let's move on to the finding and discussion. The data collection in this study is categorized as objective data. The data in this study is such text taken from the song Beauty and the Beast sung by John Legend and Ariana Grande. Then the target text becomes Si Cantik dan Buruk Rupa by Cila Kiana. It can be concluded that this research is objective data, meaning that the researcher takes data from the source text and the target text as a source of the research data. The data of the lyrics of the song Beauty and the Beast has many 33 lines, as same as Si Cantik dan Si Buruk Rupa. The researcher analyzed using the theory of musical devices by R. and Johnson. There are several aspects of musical devices, including alliteration, consonants, and rhyme. The discussion will be presented part by part, and the description of musical devices as follows. We can see the table 2 and the table 3. In such that text data analysis result, musical devices of Beauty and the Beast, and there is a target text data analysis result, Si Cantik dan Buruk Rupa. We can see in the Beauty and the Beast, alliteration has 19 data and 33%. And then consonant has 3 data and 5%. Internal rhyme has 8 data, 14%. And the last one is end rhyme, 28, and after that, the result is 48%. And after that, table 3, we can see that alliteration for data, 19%. Consonants has 2 data, 10%. And also internal rhyme, 15%. 15 and has 71%. Okay. Maybe some of you ask why the data is not same as the translation method or the others. Because musical devices, in one line, there is maybe the analysis, maybe in one lyrics, one lines, there is alliteration, consonants, internal rhyme. So because of that, this is, has so many types of the musical devices in one lyrics. Okay. So we will see in the screen that there is table 4, data number 1. I will explain the number of data. The first one is number of the whole data, the first number of the code, ST source text, BATB, Beauty and the Beast. Z1 is number of stanza, it means stanza 1. Now, we can see in data number 1, the musical devices that have been contained in this stanza are alliteration, internal rhyme, and end rhyme. Alliteration is in this lyric stanza tale as old as time, which is already T in prefix tale and T in prefix time. Internal rhyme has been found in tale as old as time, where there are as and as. Then there is the end rhyme, tell as old as time, where the end rhyme of this lyric is A, as same as the following lyric, true as it can be. Okay, and then Table 5, data number 2. In data number 2, the musical devices already contained in this stanza are consonants and internal rhyme. Consonants has been found in barely, even friends, then somebody bends within at y the suffix in barely and y the suffix in somebody. Then the internal rhyme has been found in barely, even friends, then somebody bends. That is a rhyme in one sentence with the suffix ans in friends and suffix ans in bends. And then table 6, data number 3. In data number 3, the musical device that the researcher can find in these lyrics is only the alliterations. Alliteration has been found in beauty and the beast songs, in the B prefix of beauty and the B prefix of beast. The other musical devices were formed because none of the lyrics have the ending st apart from the beauty and the beast. Then table 7, data number 3. In data number 3, table 7, data number 4. In data number 4, musical devices contained in this line are consonants only. Consonants can be found in the lyrics of learning you were wrong, namely in the ng suffix of the word learning and wrong. Table 8, data number 5. In data number 5, the musical device that have been obtained in these lyrics is consonants. Consonants has been found tiada beda, in which has the suffix da from the words tiada and the suffix da in the words beda. Table 9, data number 6. In data number 6, the musical device that have been found in the lyrics of these songs are end rhyme. The end rhyme that has been found in the lyrics of this song is seperti pernah ada, namely the ending rhyme A, because the 13th line also has the same ending rhyme, namely A from Seyakin Surya. Table 10, data number 7. In data number 7, the existing musical devices are alliteration and rhyme. Alliteration has been found in the as prefix of Seyakin Surya. Then the end rhyme has been found Surya at the end of the rhyme, A which is the same as the previous data number 6. The researcher can conclude that translating song while maintaining musical devices is not an easy thing to do. If only to know the meaning of a song lyrics, it is certainly not tricky, but keeping a song more beautiful is very difficult. This is not only done by students who are learning language or ordinary people. It becomes the biggest challenge for translators to find equivalent words with beautiful rhymes to sound dramatic and artistic, especially since in the Disney fairy tale song, Disney is a childhood dream and its audience doesn't see age. So translating Disney songs lyric can be careless because it's a challenging and complicated job to present Disney characters full of happiness and romance, but still maintain smooth language and describe feelings from fairy tales. In the song Beauty and the Beast, the lyrics can express Belle's tender heart with lyrics full of their love and tenderness. And Belle is also motherly. This is also illustrated by the figure of Beast, who, from the outside, although not having a handsome appearance, has a romantic and shy heart to express his love for Belle, also known as Beauty. So with this, the researchers are very interested in this song because it is filled with rhymes that can spoil the ears. According to the researcher, this song is not only known as a song to listen to, but also a poem written and described from the perspective of Beauty and the Beast. So it means that this song has written and sung by both of them as the expression of their respective heart. On the ST musical devices, the results were alliteration 33%, consonants 5%, internal rhyme 14%, and rhyme 48%. While on the musical device target text, the results are alliteration 19%, consonants 10%, and rhyme 70%, 71%. We can see that the result of translating the song Beauty and the Beast into Si Cantik dan Si Buruk Rupa is complicated so that the application of target text musical devices is not as much as source text musical devices. So the song does not sound as poetic as the original. Okay, that's all my presentation. Okay, thank you.
It's a really great presentation, Vanessa. I'm sorry because I'm not here earlier due to a signal problem. I'll take over from here. We will continue with two sessions. The first session will be the question and answer session with judges, and the second session will be the question and answer session with audiences. So first, I want to ask for the first judges, Marcelina. Could you deliver your opinion for Nesa's presentation?
Okay, thank you, Josephine. Hello, Vanessa. Thank you for such a good presentation. I want to deliver my question. Actually, I'm still confused about the object of your research and the analysis, because if I first saw already your title of your research, that you said that the title is the Indonesian translation of Beauty and the Beast and the study of musical devices. And I think that the analysis will be focused on the Indonesian translation or the Indonesian versions of Beauty and the Beast. But why did you still analyze the source text in the discussions, finding and also discussion? Yeah, that's the first question.
Okay, Nisa, do you want to answer the first question from the judges or continue to hear the second question?
Maybe I will answer it. Is it okay?
Okay.
First of all, the title of my research is, you're right, the Indonesian translation of Beauty and the Beast, or we can say target text. The target text is Si Cantik dan Buruk Rupa, right? And then why am I discussing ST2 source text, or we can say Beauty and the Beast? Because I want to find out if the translation results from Disney Indonesia can successfully maintain musical devices such as source text or not. I want to compare the ST and TT source text and target text of this song. As we know, the Disney song certainly sounds poetic because the background is a fairy tale. I want to know if translate it can be written poetic song lyrics like ST or not. So I want to compare it, the Si Cantik dan Buruk Rupa, SM sounds poetic or not, like a Beauty and the Beast. So that's all. Is it answer your question?
Yes, it is. Thank you for the answer. And may I continue with the second one?
Sure.
Okay, the second question is, you say that in your research that there will be differences between poetry and song. Can you please explain is there any differences, or what are the differences between poetry and song? Thank you.
Okay, I will answer it. The poetry is the art of combining sounds, rhymes, and words on a language to animate visions, stages, impressions, and emotions. A song is also a collection of beautifully strung words sung to musical accompaniments. So poetry, we should not to sing. and there is no harmony in it. And then the song, there is a harmony, and also the people can is singing it. Okay, that's all the difference.
Is that
Okay.
answer your question, Marcelina?
Yes, it is. Thank you, Nisa, for the answer for the second question. And my last question is, why did you choose the object of the study with the song Beauty and the Beast? The reason why you choose the object as your object of research.
I choose Beauty and the Beast. Okay. First of all, I can see that Beauty and Beast. This is a nice and poetic song. We can see, I can see there is musical devices. This is so beautiful. There is a like tell as old as time. I can see there is a very poetic, and there is a musical devices in it. Okay, and then I want to compare it to the Indonesian translation, Si Cantik dan Buruk Rupa, and I can see it that it is a very hard and difficult challenge to the translator of the Disney Indonesia to make Si Cantik dan Buruk Rupa. It is a very hard and challenge. I can see it because to make it poetic it is a very is a hard work for the translator. So because of that, I choose Beauty and the Beast because this song has so many musical devices. So I want to compare it with the Si Cantik dan Buruk Rupa. That's all. Is it answer your question?
Yes, it is. Thank you, Nisha, for all the
Thank you.
answers.
Thank you,
Okay, that's
Marcelina.
all for my question.
Thank you, Marcelina, as the first judges for your opinion. We will continue with the second judges. Marceline, would you like to deliver your opinion on Nisa's presentation?
Okay. Firstly, that was an amazing presentation, and your journal is also very complete, very comprehensive. So congratulations on that. And I have 3 questions here. The first one is that why do you choose Newmark's definition on translation, and why is it suitable for your study?
Okay, thank you. May I answer it?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, why I use translation in musical devices, all right? Okay, so I use Indonesian translation because I want to know the ST entity because I want to compare the source text and also target text, as I said before, because I can listen, the song is very poetic, so I want to know, is it the same as the source text? Is it a poetic or not, as same as the Beauty and the Beast or something? So that's why I use the translation of it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for your answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I move to the second question?
Okay.
Yeah.
In your table number 5, data number 2, okay, you include the line barely even friends, then somebody pants. The Y there, Y, you included as consonants. I want to ask why, on the reason on why you include it as a consonant when it is actually read as a vowel.
Okay, so I put it barely and somebody as the consonants because of the vowel. Why and why? Because we can see that barely and somebody. So it is not only the vowel, what is it? The same vowel li and li, but we can see from the Y. barely, and somebody, because if I put it as the internal rhyme, it is not so not so accurate, because to put it as the internal rhyme, we can see that there is a familiar similarities about the barely and barely. So because of that, it accurate, it can be related as the consonants, because of barely and somebody. Why? Okay, something like that. The suffix y in barely and the y, the suffix in the somebody.
Okay. So the consonants here, in here refers to the letter Y as a consonant, not not the audio of Y as E, the vowel E. It is read as barely, so E, and somebody, it is vowel. So so it refers to the letter Y, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, the last question is, what is your understanding here of suffix? Because you refer like in tiada beda, da and da is a suffix. Can you explain your definition of suffix?
Okay. Table 8, data number 5. Tiada beda. Okay. In data number 5, I will explain in later. It again, the musical device that have been obtained in this lyrics is consonants, right? Consonants has been found tiada beda, in which has the suffix da from the words tiada beda. So the suffix itself, the ending of the sound or vowel, tiada beda. We can see that there is da and da. So because of that, I put it as the consonants.
Okay.
And
Mm-mm.
and we can find the sound at the end of the song. So yes, this is the last sound of the tiada beda. We can see that similarities da.
Because in our study, what I know about suffix is when you have like apa ya, tambahan like a morpheme like li or nes or kayak gitu. But here we have da and da referred to as a suffix. But from your explanation, I can understand that. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Marceline.
Okay, thank you for the two judges for delivering their opinions. Now we will move to the question and answer session for the audience. If you want to ask your question, you may ask directly or you may write it in the text box. Okay, Nessa, so we have the first question from Yemima. I will read it. Hi Nessa, thanks for great presentations. Are you satisfied with the work you've done so far? Do you want to answer it, Nessa?
Of course, I certified with my own work so far. But I know there is what is it? There is, I'm not complete. What is it? There is I should learn more about it with the judges Marceline and Marcelina. I can learn more about the musical devices, but for sure, I satisfied with my work so far because I can learn about the song, my favorite song from my childhood. So it is a very grateful to bring it as my research, something like that. Thank you. Is it answer your question, Yemima? You're welcome.
All right. So, is there anyone who wants to deliver questions? Okay. So we have a question from Meliana. Vanessa, after analyzing the song, do you think the translator is successful in deliver the perspective of beauty and the beast? Since you mentioned that the song translated is not as poetic as the original. Do you want to answer it, Nessa?
Okay, after analyzing the song, do you think the translator is successful in deliver the perspective? Okay, I will. Okay, I will answer it. The first of all, the translator, I think it is very successful in deliver the perspective of beauty and the peace. Okay, so in my research, this is about the translation method and also the musical devices. But in this journal, I wrote about the focus on musical devices. As we can see, there is right. We can see that the target text is not as poetic as the original, right? But I'm not saying that the translator failed in translating the music into Si Cantik dan Buruk Rupa because of what? Because we can see the translating between the source text and target text. We can see that tell us all this time dongeng yang lama. We can see that we can still understand about the meaning. We can understand about the meaning. So maybe the target of the listeners of this song is for children or for children who loves a fairy tale. So because of that, it can be ignite one of them. Why I can say ignite one of them? Because we can see there is not so poetic to the original, but it can very easily to understand by the children. We can see maybe the children want to learn about English language or something like that. We can see that what is it? The translation, it is easy to understand for the young people, but maybe for the art lovers or something like the people who loves art, it is not so poetic. So why? So maybe I can see the reasonable from the translator why not to make it poetic as the original, because maybe the translator want to deliver the message can be delivered so easier. So because of that, the poetic aspect ignite maybe the sacrifice by the translator. So because of that, this is not so poetic as the original. Thank you.
Okay, Miliana, does that answer your question? Understandable, Nessa. Thank you and good luck. All right. Is there anyone else who want to deliver your question? There is no one who want to deliver the question. I want to ask Nessa. What is your main difficulties in doing this research? Because in my opinion, song is not an easy object to do research on that. Furthermore, this is a musical songs, right? So I think it's quite difficult to make it as an object of the research. So I want to know what is your main difficulties in doing this research?
All right, thank you for the questions. To be honest, musical devices, so maybe quite difficult to analyze. Okay, so in my research undergraduate thesis, I choose two topics. The first one is translation method and also musical devices. And for honestly, translation method is more easier to analyze than the musical devices. So because of that, we can see that there is two tables. The first table is about the source text musical devices, and the second table we can see that there is target text musical devices. So I admit this is difficult to analyze, but why I choose a musical device as my research in this seminar? Because the first one, I challenged myself. I challenged myself to learn about the musical devices because I already maybe for the translation method, I can understand about the translation method, but I want to challenge myself to learn more about musical devices. So yes, this is a very difficult. Why it is so difficult? Because we can see there is for the target text si cantik dan buruk rupa, it is there is no musical devices, but so I should analyze where is I can find the musical device. So because of that, this is a very hard and challenging for me. That's all. Is it answer your question?
Okay, so the main difficulties is the target text in Indonesian language, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's answer my question.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, if there is no one wants to deliver this question, I will end this presentation. Thank you for joining today's presentations, and I will return to Sura